So, if you're learning a new language, you've probably asked yourself this a million times. Am I fluent yet? It's a really tricky question, right? Because fluency isn't just about knowing a bunch of words. It's about how you actually use them. So today, we're going to break down how fluency is really measured.
Okay, so you've decided to get serious about your English. That's awesome. But then comes the big question. Where do you even start? Should you focus on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation? Honestly, it can feel totally overwhelming, and it's so easy to just dive in without any real plan at all.
To get some real answers, we're not going to just talk about theory. We're going to dig into a real-world case study from a company called Ansar Robotics. By deconstructing their professional assessment process, we can see exactly how the pros pinpoint strengths and weaknesses to build a learning plan that's actually personalized.
So here's the game plan for today. First, we'll unlock what a good assessment looks like. Then we'll break down the 4 core language skills. After that, we'll see those skills put to the test. And from there, we'll look at how those results get turned into a custom course and what it really means to invest in your fluency.
All right, let's dive right into step 1, the assessment itself. You've got to think of this as the foundation for absolutely everything else. I mean, before you can build a plan to get where you're going, you have to know exactly where you are right now.
And here's the thing. Jumping straight into lessons without a proper diagnostic test, that's kind of like a doctor prescribing medicine without even asking what your symptoms are. Sure, you might get lucky, but a targeted plan that's based on a real, thorough test is always going to be faster and way more effective.
But you know, a good assessment isn't just one single test. True fluency is complex. It's got a lot of different parts, so the test has to reflect that. Let's break down the 4 essential skills that really form the foundation of mastering a language.
And these are the big 4: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You've probably noticed you're stronger in some areas than others, right? Maybe you can read an article no problem, but you get totally lost in a fast-paced conversation. A proper assessment measures each one of these skills on its own.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's actually see what these tests look like in the real world. I mean, how do you even measure something as complicated as speaking or reading comprehension? Well, let's take a look.
So, let's start with speaking. A good diagnostic won't just ask you simple yes or no questions. Look at these prompts. They get you to talk about a whole range of things, from personal stuff like your hometown to more abstract ideas like art and schools. This is designed to test way more than just your vocabulary. It's about seeing if you can structure your thoughts, give an opinion, and just talk naturally.
Okay, this table is a fantastic example of how an assessment measures depth. It's not just about whether you know the word improve, it's about how you can use it. Just look at the jump from a simple, direct sentence to that advanced one that uses words like consistent and fluency. That leap shows a massive difference in skill, and it's exactly how an assessment figures out your actual level.
Now for writing, they put you on the clock. A timed task like this doesn't just test your grammar, it's testing your ability to think and build an argument under pressure. Can you state your opinion, back it up with reasons, and wrap it all up in just 10 minutes? That shows a completely different skill set.
Okay, take a look at this picture. This is a classic diagnostic tool. The task sounds simple. Just describe what you see. But what it's really testing is your active vocabulary for everyday objects, people, and actions. It's a great way to see how well you can connect language to the world around you.
And here's where it gets really smart. They drill down with super specific questions, a lot like what you'd see on a big test like the IELTS. It tests if you can spot tiny details, describe people and what they're wearing, count things, and even tell the difference between the foreground and the background. It's a whole lot of testing packed into one single image.
So, the assessment's done. Your specific needs have been identified. Now what? This is where all that data gets turned into a real, personalized action plan.
See, the results should always shape the method. A good plan adapts to you. For example, maybe you're someone who loves the immediate feedback of a live session. But hey, if your schedule is crazy, a more flexible format like sending in audio recordings might be way better. The whole idea is to fit the learning to your life, not the other way around.
And the next step is to make sure the plan matches your goals. Is your main goal just to get more comfortable with everyday conversations? Cool, then the focus should be on that. But if you have a really specific goal, like passing a big exam or getting help with academic writing, then you need a curriculum that gives you those specialized tools.
And finally, let's talk about the commitment. What you can really expect in return for your investment of time and hard work.
So just to give you a concrete example of the investment for this kind of high-intensity, structured program, the monthly package in our case study comes out to this price right here.
And remember, you're not just paying for classes, you're investing in a targeted plan with advanced tools designed to help you make progress fast.
And this is so important when it comes to expectations. Real progress doesn't just happen overnight. The guidance here is pretty clear. With consistent effort, say 2 classes a week, you can expect to see some serious improvement in about 3 months. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So if we boil this whole thing down to one single idea, it's this: stop guessing. A detailed, comprehensive assessment is the key that unlocks a learning plan that actually targets your specific weaknesses and builds on your strengths. It's the difference between just wandering around and walking a clear path straight to your goal.
And that brings us to the final question, and this one is for you to think about. Whether it's English or any other skill you're trying to learn, just take a second to ask yourself, are you starting with a map, or are you just starting to walk? The answer could completely change your approach.